Hello, Final Fantasy Randomizer Marathon staff. This is Windblown Leaf, and my submission for a Link to the Past randomizer using the flag set Hybrid Major Glitches, which is a glitched preset. So all of our ability to abuse the terrain is the term I'll use here, and get around the world in ways unintended. It is a preset that was made inspired by the original Overworld Glitches rule set, with a few added Underworld bomb clips added to the logic. So there's a couple of places you'll see me go through the corner of Underworld screen to go to another section of the Underworld, because the Underworld in this game is made up of effectively a quilt of different tiles of the game. Every dungeon is basically on the same giant map. So, this is a 7-7 defeat Ganon flag. So we are required to collect all 7 crystals and defeat all 7 crystal bosses. This is an important note in glitch modes, as you can often collect crystals in other dungeon states. So in order to guarantee that, you need to state crystal bosses must be killed. In addition, we have to climb Ganon's Tower and defeat Aghanim 2. So we're going to need the items required to do all of these things. For those who know me, you'll know that I tend to play as Leafeon or Sylveon sprites. However, I learned all my glitches using this MSGuy sprite, and so this is a sprite I tend to use. As a result, I will not be doing a sprite choice incentive for this run, but we could use a file name incentive for 12 letters. So, with that, let the glitches begin in 3, 2, 1, go. Part of the fun of Hybrid Major Glitches is we have a very large, what we refer to as Sphere 1. We start with the Pegasus boost because they just enable a lot of our glitches. Yeah, we'll need to find the tools to clear 7 crystal dungeons and Ganon's Tower. As a result, we're looking for things early, like, weapons would be a good start, honestly. Weapons and resources. An early ice rod pickup is nice. We know Thieves is green. We'll check the rest of we'll check the light world on arrival outside. Alright, and as you can see, we have a pendant on desert, which is unfortunate. But so we have Crystal Hera. I believe I saw Red Crystal, even though I don't really track those in this mode, because we have glitches to get around that. I'm thinking, in terms of estimate, we'll probably submit a 145 estimate, because of the volatility of this mode, it can go pretty much anywhere from an hour to an hour and 40 pretty reliably. As for commentators, I don't think I have anybody in mind personally, but as a solo run, I will make sure I have one. Once we get to the end of this cap loop, we'll start getting into the first sightings of our major glitches. So, for those who watch Link to the Past tournament scene, you'll know this is actually quite a popular tournament for what it is. We usually get somewhere in the high 20 to 30 participants in our glitch tourneys. Ooh, we like having an actual sword. That does... Okay, we like having 2 swords. We like having a sword because that makes some of our clips easier because we can utilize spin speed instead of having to brute force the clip. And the Moon Pearl just turned my entire map tracker green. So Moon Pearl opens up basically most of the Dark World now. Because we can get off the mountain with the Pegasus boots and the Moon Pearl. We can do it without Moon Pearl too, it's just significantly easier with the Moon Pearl. And it's not expected to be done without by the game's logic. I will take a 300. So this is our first example of the overall glitch tech. This is a teleport. You line up on the pixel properly, and the game, in order to try and resolve your collision, teleports you in a given direction. That is what we refer to as an upwards teleport. And as a result of it, it does make Desert Palace here part of our Hackerico loop. We actually have a ton of options open to us now. So, I think I'm going to play it a little safe and just go for general density and do South Shore as our next main play. Alright, there are no items left in Desert Palace. The only thing left in here is the pendant, which I will leave unless it turns out we need pedestal. Now, in a normal mode, you would probably go to Agena as the next stop. But in HMG, we can get to check K45. I'm a pixel too low. And earlier I mentioned a upward teleport. That is a downward teleport. It teleports us downward. I'm actually thinking, because I currently am down to 1 bomb, I would like to go somewhere I can get bombs. And as a result, the best play for that is to go up the mountain. There's a case of going up the mountain usually takes a glove. However, we can just... That was not the intended thing, but I'm glad that reverse worked. That's actually not the cave I intended to go to. So a little bit of a... A little bit of a backup to get down to the cave I wanted. And this is the Old Man Rescue Cave, so... We can do it in the dark, because we can see what... I mean, I can do it in dark with nothing, but luckily for the chat, we have a sword that lets us see through most of it. And the main reason I came over here... I'm going to actually take this opportunity to do front of Hera and the top before I go back down the mountain. Alright, so Tower of Hera is the first dungeon to shout out the... Oh, hey, bombs. Unusual ruling. So normally you would think, oh, the next item is going to be a key. However, in HMG, that is not the case. You could be required... The key could be not here. Although, that's hilariously incorrect in this time. So, the key can actually not end up here. And you have to... You'd be logically expected to clip in from Misery Mire, which gets done from the room above cutscene chest. However, in this case, it did give us the key, which makes me suspicious of what it wants me, why it wants me to come up here early. And that was just a missed lineup. I'll do one more time, and then we'll go around. Okay, yeah, I'm missing the lineup. I'm a little bit... I've been focusing so hard on other games, I haven't played as much Links of the Past this week, so my lineups aren't as clear. We want to keep this small key, so you... Besides the fact that I don't have fire, you won't expect to see me do... Terra basement here, because we want that small key for use in Swamp Palace. Interesting. So there's our first crystal. We're going to check this item. If it is something we need, we will go through and route to Palace of Darkness from here. But since it is not, we'll explain Palace of Darkness in a bit, because I will go there sooner rather than later. A little bit of wiggling on the thing, and for the record, we do have... This sign is not here in vanilla. This is our Glitch Tourney winner sign. I tend to read it just to shout out our Glitch Tourney winners. Alright, nothing on the island up there that I have to clip to. As a result of being overall glitches, outside of the few bomb clips, it does mean a lot of our dungeons end up looking the same as in intended. I don't have a mirror to go that way. But part of the fun is seeing how people connect the overworld together, how they loop things in efficiently. Cape is a nice convenience item. That first bottle there is actually kind of a big deal. Well, bottles aren't nearly as game-breaking as they are in higher glitch modes. We still can use them for fast travel in HMG rules. No, not this side. Wow. Dead rocks continue to be the worst enemy in the game. Yeah. We're able to clip down the mountain to Zora and end up with this absolutely beautiful color palette for the record. Alright, nothing in the Zora corner. Now we'll take it into a natural south route. Mostly, I can't really clear dungeons, so I'm trying to focus some overworld checks. Missed pit line up there. we will absolutely take a Tempered Sword. Right now, the biggest things we're really looking for are Hammer, Hookshot, Keen Samaria. Like, I'm kind of looking for tools to get into and clear GT. Because GT is a quite dense dungeon. Tools to clear dungeons is the priority. Glove is a good find. The glove will probably send me to the back of Escape first. Not mess around with crabs, they're scary. Alright, for our next direction, we want to go... check out Waterfall Ferry, and then go out back out to get Hobo. The man under bridge, sorry. We're all used to calling him the Hobo. He shows up as the Hobo in the spoiler log, but I know it's not a flattering term. See what's free. Okay. We're not going to get Man at the Bridge because we just bonked and locked ourselves in place. Sometimes mistakes do happen. Alright, we're going to do Back of Escape. You might be wondering, but Leaf, you're on the mountain. Well, that's because we're going to pick up another check along the way. In order to get to Back of Escape, we do need to screen transition there. If I hadn't screen transitioned, we'd have dropped into the Chris Houlihan room. I am absolutely picking up a single arrow. Shots my good friend Zeruvian. But one of the general philosophies of glitch modes is do things in ways that are efficient, which includes pairing things up when you can. I'm actually going to take that key to the front. And honestly, given our... At least want to check Uncle. I'm not a believer in putting off Uncle too long. Leaving Sphere 0 checks is dangerous. And yeah, we're gonna grab the key. We're gonna go grab the castle checks while we're here. It's gonna be relatively quick with Tempered Sword, so. As long as we don't get a health refill, we can Death Warp out fairly easily. just said. The shovel. Okay, so we actually are getting another batch of things we can pair together pretty easily, and then take it into. Huh. I think what we want to do next, honestly, is get the. Six Arts is still a long death warp. But there's an item, so I'll do it. So, we can have a couple of options. Dark World is our density play right now. We can get a green pendant dungeon. It'll also get us our intel on what dungeons we need to do. I'm looking at a play to pick a few scattered checks along the Kakariko Village path. But I think the Dark World makes most sense right now. Hype Cave, Stumpy Dig Game Vu. Of course, we have the key in Hera. I didn't actually need to come this way to do this. That was a slight routing mistake. Okay, we have a traditional Dark World access. I'm still going... for submission's sake, I'm going to do a couple of these from glitch states. Notably, I'm going to do these. I'm going to do a trick that we call the super jump. We have a blue potion. Let's do this. Let's do Spike Cave now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have resources coming in we can make use of. But yeah, we're going... I am not doing a super jump because I... Okay. New plan. We're going GT. Because I can get a lot of logical intel out of GT right now. I actually did not want to reset my camera up in Hera for what I want to do. There's guaranteed to be keys over in DM's room. The Stalfus room. That's a good find. I know we're going to need Canis Maria. We're probably going to need the... we're going to need... We're going to need the Fire Rod. Alright, that means that this entire dungeon is hookshot locked. So the only thing in this dungeon that can lead to the hookshot is the bow. We're going to go down left side here, see if we can pull anything for progression, including our big key. I need to wait for that to trigger. We're breaking some logic here. The hookshot is quite easy to break. From here, our next best play is going to be go to the Dark World. We have a ton of open dark overworld, and leading into the dungeons down there. Okay. We have an unusual case of we have access to Ice Palace without fire. Which is actually allowed by the logic. You can't clear dungeon without either Bombos or Fire Rod. I was too early. There's a setup where you get through there easier. I just messed it up. Alright, big key is down right side. So we're going to need the King of Samaria to get. I'm still going to do... Having early Dark World access like we do, I'm still going to make a quick one demonstration trick. And we're going to demonstrate the Super Jump. My personal favorite is that show you one for scene, and our last pendant is Ice. Okay. Pod being the other red, if that ends up mattering. So Super Jump, we utilize this broken camera. And we jump from here on the mountain. And we're now in the South Dark World. So for the record, we jumped from the top of the world to the bottom. So with the knowledge of what our pendants are, we're going to need the Fire Rod, the Hookshot, a Medallion, and the Flippers. I'm going to do the Density of Overworld, mostly so I can get the Medallion info on Meyer. And then we're going to start playing Dungeon Clearing. Okay. Hookshot is huge, so let's put our mitts in logic. Yeah, we're going to need... Why do we have every bottle? Okay. So I always give this warning when I'm doing Meyer entry. There is some visual intensity. I'm going to show what I mean, and then I will use map to clear. Yeah, we have this. Quake. So, all right, we can now clear 1, 2, 3. We can clear a few dungeons. One of my favorite challenges is try and get where I'm going from that teleport before the big game ends. I will think for just a minute if I want to clear green pendant thieves. It's a consideration because we haven't gone over. We do have to make our way over to the Eastern Palace soon. The book is a kind of not pleasant item to have. There's a lot of loose checks. It does mean that we have basically everything we want to compare with the Kakariko second loop. Yeah, we'll check, see what we got in here. It really depends on how many items are back here to determine if I want to bail on it. Yeah, I think we'll just commit to it. There's 3 items effectively back here because of the green pendants. Mitts are in logic. I think my next plays need to be Eastern and Pod, though. Yeah, we'll make a run up to Bumper, and then save and quit out of Skull Woods, I think is what we'll do. Really badly messed up my script there. Yeah, that was very definitely not the most worthwhile trip through here. The rewards in the dungeon were not great. Go ahead, take a look at the front of Skull Woods. I will not say no to silver arrows. If we get the weird case of there's no keys in here, I will save and quit. But this is more than likely a key. Like I said, more than likely a key. And second time. Okay, so we don't go back there without Fire Rod. Let's go do Eastern. Alright, so Thieves found for 3 pieces of heart and 20 1 rupees. Sorry about that. Random sneeze happening. I blame late fall allergies for that. Been working on dealing with the leaves out in our yard, so... Alright, one item. Alright, what do we want to see as our next major progression? Honestly, the Fire Rod, or the Samaria. Flippers, actually, flippers would not be bad. Second item. Third item. Okay, let's go fight the boss. So, from here we're going to make a play to pod, and I will go there through glitch means, because it actually saves a key. As a result, we'll make a quick stop, go pick up the Ether Medallion as our next play. The Ether Tablet is just isolated right now, so we're just grabbing it now. Because we're doing what we're doing from the mountain anyways. A lot of glitch runs, we spend a lot of time on the mountain. Alright, so... it's time for our first bomb clip of the run. So this is a trick we call Kiki Skip. I mistimed my dash. That looks too high. Okay. So what we did there was we did a bomb clip from Speckle Rock Cave to enter Piles of Darkness in what we call cave state. And the thing about cave state is we have infinite small keys. We're going to use one to open that front door. When you come out that, you do have to hold down or you're going to get soft locked in the wall. So as a result, we can actually make educated guesses as to what's available in pod, the front of pod here, and determine if we need to even go down what we refer to as the Bowlock side of pod. Because I am technically net +1 keys. At the moment, we're looking like we're going to have to because we have 2 keys. So unless both of these items are unless both of these items are items, or unless both of these checks I'm about to do are not small keys, there's items down Bollock side pod. Alright, we will be going down the Bollock side. There's at least one item over there. Potentially. Alright, there's the Meyer Medallion. So we are now in Fire Rod, Flippers, and King of Samaria for go. And how many keys have been in here? Alright, there are 2 keys somewhere in the back. Hoping I got there in time to stop that red beetle, but we didn't. There's our big key. Right, there is a small key in the room we refer to as Harmless Headway. So we can just take a left here and go grab the items out of the left side. Unfortunately, we do have a very long walk back out because 14 hearts is a lot to death warp with. And the last time is on the Helmassar King. With our current loadout, our next play is going to be doing Dark Death Mountain. I didn't take my aid plug for that dash in time. So, very quick 2 silvers, or 2 gold sword hits. We're very comfortable combat-wise. We just can't find our items. Alright, so our next good play is definitely doing Dark Death Mountain. Not having flippers is making this an interesting challenge. We're just struggling to find the items that open things up in this seed. Which makes me think we're going to find something here soon. But Dark Death Mountain didn't have it, so we've got the Smith Chain, we've got pretty much everything going around the Kakariko Village extension. Can't even go in the front, open the front door of TR. We'll go to Catfish. Alright, we're going to do a little clip here to... Just gonna do a little trick to make our traversal easier. We need to go get some stuff out of the Village of Outcasts into... We need to go grab the Smith, so... And why not combine it with the hair picks from where we were. Okay. Alright, we've grabbed the Smith. We're going to take a trip off the mountain again. Again, just trying to loop things in as they seem appropriate. Alright. I was referring earlier to a second loop of peripheral Kakariko checks. We got a bottle. We got the magic powder. We picked up the smith. We have a shovel. It'll still kind of come down to a stack of fairly rough checks to work with here. It's maybe a go into mire play. Okay, that is a beautiful glitch location, by the way. Alright, we're gonna go grab the 2 items in Pyramid Ferry next. We could have done these sooner, but I was doing things that were faster and more dense, and somewhere in here is the jump for Spike Cave's ledge. And Amir opens up the glitch way to do it, which is funny. And there's also a swim clip that I just do not enjoy doing, so I don't. You might remember earlier I mentioned something about falling into the Chris Houlihan room if you did not reset the camera up there. We're going to use that as a mobility advantage. And that will let us get in here to do Pyramid Ferry. Blue potion? I'll take a green potion. Cool. Alright, we're actually going to do this swim again. we're going to take purple chest with us. Yeah, in terms of what we have remaining, we... are definitely running out of great place. I'm jumping into following that mirror for a moment and grabbing the Mimic Cave and the items in the front of, or not in the front, but the middle of TR is looking pretty good. And Meyer is looking pretty good. I forgot to actually go to the Dark World. We'll just plan B the Dark World. Okay, so... this is how, that's usually one of the first clips people learn, is to get to the center ledge here. That is adorable. I love it. Thank you, game. We have folk label ice. Vanilla Big Key. Means if I don't find a small key here, all three up top are small key? No, because... puts one more check in the logic in here. That is the room we refer to as Crystal Roller. Okay, next up is going to be ice. little bit of Ancilla overload to get a thick flipper. I can do this because I'm doing a little bit of a showcase. I will showcase the bomb clip. It does isolate Pengator, but I will go back in if I need to. We actually want this switch flipped because anyone else has had that much trouble with her. Are you bomb pack? You're variety pack. You're a bomb pack, though. Big key. That is not the most efficient path through dungeon with Ice Palace Bomb Jump. I forgot that I didn't have Cane when I made that decision to showcase, but... Alright, one item. Alright. With Gold Sword, this fight is not that threatening, although we are at 5 hearts, so we do need to be a little careful. Little out of my control for a moment, but we got it. We will be going right back inside, though. take a moment during the cut scene, stretch out. Always make sure that you're taking care of yourself. No bombs left behind. Right, there are 2 items down the right side of the dungeon. Looks like make our way right back inside. We do not need to flip the switch. Yeah, we have a map, compass, 1 key, big key, and an item. Just gonna... A good convenience item, but not progression. Of course it is. So the King of Samaria was right behind where you would want to have the King of Samaria for. That gets extra checks in GT, but we're going to start with the clearable dungeon. This is one clip I don't use as often, so I always forget which bump I'm lining up on. Mr. Meyer is a simple dungeon. There's our flippers. We're going to do this in a certain way. Where we do not have Fire Rod, we don't have to worry about preserving Spooky. Can't believe I'm going to do another round of come back into the dungeon, but in this case, the way I want to route this is requiring it. Silver arrows make short work of this Vitreous. And right back inside to go get the find the other item, and then I'm thinking we'll show off the glitches to get to Swamp Palace. We're going to do everything here that isn't cutscene chest first. There's the third key. This is either a map or the item. Alright, cutscene chest has the item, so we will take a trip to go grab that. Alright, so we're still looking for a fire rod. We're gonna go visit Swamp Palace from here. This is kind of the meat and potatoes of the logical changes to the mode. You can access Palace of Darkness without the Moon Pearl. You can access ice without fire. And this. This is cutscene room. Right, this room is the important room. Actually, when I say this room, I mean this room. We land here, dash turn right, throw bomb, and clip into the fairy fountain in Hera. That puts the upper levels of... That puts doing stuff in Tower of Hera in logic as a... from Meyer, without the big key of Hera. This is a trick called Dash Citrus. We're using select buffers to move to a certain spot in the wall and put myself in Swamp Palace from Tower of Hera. Thus opening Swamp Palace's checks doors and leaving to reset the dungeon. However, to get in, we do need to flood the swamp, which, for the record, you can do without the mirror. All you have to do is flood the swamp, save and quit, load it mountain, and then clip into Tower of Hera. And repeat the same dash clip I just made to get to Swamp. This has actually been not amazing. But as you see, there was not a small key in the first check of Swamp, so getting here from Meyer was the logical requirement. Where we're in Go -1, we are going to skip left side for the first trip and go back in. Almost there to Argus. There are 2 items down left side swamp, so if Argus does not drop Fire Rod, we'll go back in. We pick up the key there, just to make it easier to do left side if we need to. Alright, back in we go. This leaves us with... From here, we can go pick up the man under the bridge. We can get a few checks. We can get like one check in logic. Oh wow, this could be a fire rod on the laser bridge. And we're gonna make that play. We're gonna quickly grab the man on the bridge. There's an at this point where we have flippers. This is an easy grab. I'm gonna laugh if it's here because this is one of those cases where some players have this in the first minute because there's a clip to get yourself down here without flippers. I just do not enjoy doing it. Alright, there's a logical situation where this could be a fire rod on laser bridge. And that's the most... It's actually the most dense play to make go to laser bridge right now. So I think we will. The fun way, of course. Two, three. This is what we call a mirror wrap. there's a world where that mushroom turns into it. So here's the thing. We're down to a handful of checks. Because if it's not here... Did I roll an actual pedestal seed for my HMG submission? Which would be an impressive feat. I'll probably pull up a 2-hour estimate now. Oh, this one has been literal. Everything has gone... There has been no discernible ordering to this seed. This is actually getting ridiculous. If it's not mushroom and it's not tile room, then it's pedestal. Alright, actually I don't think it even can logically be this mushroom because of the smoky situation. That means we're going to do something. Those for later, if I need to deal with pedestal. Alright, GT. So yeah, tile room, pedestal. It is now 50-50 of 2 of the worst checks in the game. Incredible. I would actually give this like a 66% chance to be here because it does have 2 checks to it. Because if this is the GT big key in tile room, then the fire rod can be in the big chest. It's pedestal. It is on pedestal. We're going to go get the big key and climb while we're here. I rolled a ped seed for the submission. Oh, this is glorious. See if the boomerang has to be here or something. Okay. So, we're not going to climb. We'll climb at the end, but we have that picked up now. So yeah, this has been a good example of what can go wrong in an HMG seed. The answer is this seed is incredible, and this seed is going to be dropped in our local cursed seed depository. Because this is incredible. Alright, the reason we picked up those blue potions is entirely to make one trip faster. We're just trying to do a... I'm putting myself on the frame here to drink the potion as we cross the screen transition. We're going to actually approach... Because this is an actual last location, we're going to approach this from the Skull Woods entrance. Because immediately after this, we're going to go back in the portal and clear Skull Woods. And honestly, if this isn't it, I will refresh my tracker and see what I've left unpicked up. But this should be the... missing fire rod. I'm gonna be honest. One of my friends was asking me how my submission video is going, so we're just going to take a quick screenshot of that. Thanks. with that, we're in go mode. We have 2 dungeons and the GT climb to clear. Alright, with that, the only thing left is to go kill Tranix, and then we'll go into Ganon's Tower for the 3rd time. Great thing about this mirror upset is it is consistent, that you can reset the position. You have to push left and the button on the same frame, kind of like the bottle flute I did. How did I miss that platform? Alright, so I guess we'll put a sub 2-hour estimate on my submission. Alright, last step is we have the GT climb. So with this from unit, I do appreciate the time the FFR marathon staff and community administration have given to their community, improving their community, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity to potentially showcase games I love for charity's sake. Now let's climb. We are not in any danger on this climb. I even have a set of potions I can drink if I need to. So with this submission, do keep in mind that though I'm putting a 2-hour estimate because of this seed, most seeds take an hour to an hour and a half. Take like an hour 15 to an hour and a half. That was actually looking really good before that landmo, I'm gonna say. Landmo took a bit of a time. Also worth a note, I'm willing to play with vanilla music. I recorded this using one of my MSUs because I enjoy listening to music other than Link's Past soundtrack with how much I play the game. I'm also willing to look for music to fit the marathon. So. Yeah, we have done almost every other check. I'm gonna grab them. I wanted to know if that was here. It's so good. Double. Double. Single. Oh, hey, the Labyrinth quote. I like that. 3, 4, 5. I hit that torch glitch? Wasn't even trying that one. Anyways, once we cross the bridge, the mosaic starts, and that is our time, which is now. A 1:58:35, putting us in with a sub 2 hour. We'll call this a 2 hour estimate, and expect this one to go. Provided I don't end up with another one of these, I expect this to go a little earlier. We picked up every item in the game except for one. We have every item in the game except for 4 heart pieces, and a heart container. So once I get to the credits, but until then, thank you FFR, the FFR Marathon Administration, for your time and consideration. This goes for all of my submissions I've made. Alright, but yeah, that'll do for this VOD. Thank you, everybody, and see you next mission.